I'm gonna tell you the harshest truths about relationships in your 20s that not even your own mom will tell you. Because let's be real, dating in this generation is way different than it was 30 years ago, and I want nothing more than for you to find the person of your dreams and live happily ever after. But the reason why you always seem to attract unhealthy, toxic relationships is not bad luck, and it's not even the current dating culture. It's you. There is a pattern that you are repeating every time you get into a new relationship. And when things go south, you blame it on your toxic ex. But the problem was never him, it's you. And until you break this cycle, you will keep finding yourself in the same draining, one-sided, toxic relationships. And trust me, I was in those same trenches. I kept finding myself with the same low-quality guys and even went through a toxic 2.5-year relationship that absolutely broke me. But after years of doing the self-work and learning what I like in a relationship, I found my dream partner, and I know you can too. So make sure you watch till the end of this video because I promise you will never look at dating the same way again. First harsh truth you need to hear is that a relationship won't fix your problems. Let me say that again for the people in the back. A relationship won't fix your problems. A lot of people start dating someone thinking that all their problems will just suddenly go away. And they do for a little bit. In the first few months, everything seems great. You both are so happy, so in love, and life just seems amazing. But once that honeymoon period ends, your issues are still there. You're still insecure, still lonely, and still unhappy, despite having a partner. Crazy, right? And this is what most people get completely wrong. A boyfriend is not going to magically solve your problems or make you feel complete, because the temporary high we feel knowing that someone else finds us attractive eventually dies. And even though we're in a relationship, we're still not happy with ourselves. And so what ends up happening is we start blaming all these negative feelings on the other person, saying that they're making us feel this way, they're not doing enough, etc. Sound familiar? You have to understand that the purpose of a relationship is not supposed to make you happier. The only reason you should be entering a relationship in the first place is because you realize that you become a better person when you're with them. Your happiness is solely dependent on you. You cannot rely on other people to make you happy. You have to choose to be happy whether you're in a relationship or not. And when you realize that you don't need someone else to be happy, you will find yourself in more genuine, healthy relationships where you're choosing to be with someone for who they are, not necessarily how they make you feel. The first and foremost thing you need to do before even thinking about dating is getting clear on what you want. If you just start dating with no idea of who your dream partner even is, you're just gonna accept anybody who looks at you. Before I met my boyfriend, I actually wrote down a whole list of all the qualities I wanted, both physical and internal, that I wanted in a dream partner. I wanted them to be tall, handsome, fit, emotionally supportive, kind, funny. And lo and behold, I met my boyfriend and he checks off every one of those. And funnily enough, he had a list too that I also checked off. So I guess you could say it was a match made in heaven. When you write down what you want in a dream partner, you are basically creating your criteria. So anybody that comes your way that does not fit the bill will automatically be filtered out so that you completely avoid getting into relationships with the wrong people. The next harsh truth you need to hear about relationships is never brush off the red flags. I repeat, never brush off the red flags. You gotta trust your gut. If something feels off in the beginning, don't wait for it to improve. The longer you stay in the wrong relationship, the harder it is to leave. Do not waste your prime years on someone you didn't even see a future with. Trust me, when you've been dating someone for a year, 2 years, 3 years, it is so much harder to walk away because of all the memories and emotions you've shared. So don't let a relationship progress just because it's convenient. Be intentional. Cut it off before you get married and have kids with them, because it'll be so much harder to walk away. I'm gonna tell you a big sis secret right now that I wish someone told me. It only gets worse. All the flaws you notice in the other person will never 100% go away. Sure, you might tell your partner to work on them and they might actually improve in the short term, but later down the road, you can't guarantee they'll still follow through. When it comes to dating, I get a lot of advice from my mom, who's been happily married to my dad for 31 years. And she says all the time, things only get worse. Now, of course, she says this with all the love for my dad, but it's the truth. All the little flaws you see in your partner now will be there forever in some sense. That is the nature of all humans. We get comfortable. So you really need to consider if you're willing to tolerate their flaws for the long haul. A good question to ask yourself is, if everything about my partner were to stay the same with absolutely no improvements and actually slightly get worse, would I still want to be with them? And if the answer is yes, then congratulations, you found your person. But if it's no, you really need to ask yourself if this is the right person for you. If you wanted to marry someone, then no matter what happens to them physically or internally, you should still want to be with them. That even if both their legs get cut off in an accident, their face gets all deformed, and they gain 100 pounds, you would still want to be together. Another red flag I see other women making is they feel like they need to impress men in the beginning. But this is the worst way to approach dating as a woman. Ladies, you need to be showing your true colors up front. Don't get me wrong, it's great to put an effort and make a good first impression, but if you're trying to be someone you're not, then that person will fall in love with that specific version of you. Don't sell a dream, show them the real thing. Because again, being genuine and not overly nice in the beginning will automatically weed out people who aren't that serious about you. You want someone who will love you at your worst moments and will let you be your most authentic self. I used to carefully draft messages in my notes app because I was scared of telling my ex how I actually felt. Like, I used to pretend to be happy because I knew that my emotions would piss them off. And you should not be doing those things either. Be your most genuine self in the beginning, and you will find out very quickly who actually likes you for who you are and who doesn't. I strongly believe that when you get clear on what you want and become the best version of yourself, the right person will come along. And that is why I started the It Girl Academy, because I wanted to help level up other women so that they can level up their lives. So if you're tired of being around low quality people and you want to surround yourself with the best of the best, then check out the link in the description to join. I'm not gonna lie, one of the biggest mind-blowing things I learned when I first started dating is that men and women are wired completely differently. Like, women are a totally different species than men. And because I am just absolutely obsessed with gender psychology, I would highly recommend reading the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by Dr. John Gray. If there is only one book you read this year, let it be this one, because it will change your entire perspective on dating and just men in general. And you will realize that a lot of the flaws or negative characteristics that men have are actually natural and subconscious traits that have been wired in their brains since birth. One of the biggest things that Dr. Gray talks about in this book is that men need respect while women need love. Respect and love are not the same things. Yes, women and men need both, but a woman's need to feel loved far outweighs her need to feel respected, while men need to feel respected more than loved. Men need to feel admired. They need to feel like you admire their ability to do stuff. They need to feel that you value their opinions and you trust them. Basically, they need to feel like they're the shit. They tie their worth to their ability to provide, protect, and lead. So when they feel respected, they feel valued for who they are and what they contribute. And so how do we show our respect to men? We appreciate. Ladies, you have to appreciate your man always. When women are in a relationship for a while, a lot of us forget to thank our partners for doing stuff for us, especially the little things. Like when he pays for your food, opens the door for you, plans the date. Yeah, you might feel grateful, but you have to verbally tell him, hey, thank you so much for planning this date. I really enjoyed it. Because over time, when you stop appreciating your man for the things he does, he will stop doing those things altogether. So if you notice that your partner isn't putting as much effort anymore, instead of nagging him and complaining, tell him how much you appreciate it when he plans things. Tell him how much you love it when he compliments you. Tell him how happy you are when he opens the door for you. I am dead serious. You have to train your boyfriend with positive reinforcement because their main goal is to make you happy. So when he hears that you are so happy when he does X, Y, and Z, he will want to do more of it. And the best part is you didn't have to nag him to do so. Remember, you have to respect and appreciate your man because that is how they receive love. And when men receive respect and women receive love, the relationship thrives because both people feel valued in their own way. One of my other favorite relationship books of all time, and the one that really changed the dating game for me, is Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man by Steve Harvey. Yes, that's Steve Harvey. And in this book, he says that in order to win a guy's heart and set yourself up for success in a relationship, you need to be thinking like a man. And what 90% of women fail to do in the beginning of a relationship is have strong boundaries. Guys, having boundaries makes you more attractive, not less. And you might think you have boundaries, but I'm telling you right now, they need to be stronger. You're making yourself too available early on in the dating process. And being too available will make the other person take you for granted. In the book, Steve explains that men fall in love in your absence, not your constant presence, meaning that men fall in love the most when they are missing you. So in order to give them the chance to develop those deep feelings for you, you have to create that distance. So let's say you're talking to someone and you just went on a date with them yesterday. If they ask to hang out again today, don't say yes. Even if you are free, you agreeing to hang out with them 2 days in a row basically says that you got nothing else going on in your life. Men are natural hunters, and the dating period is the chase. If you give in too early, then you take away the fun for men and their natural need to pursue you. When men are not able to chase, they lose interest. And that is when you find yourself in a relationship where you're putting in all the effort while he's just sitting back. You're basically in your masculine energy while he's in his feminine. Remember, men actually like it when a woman has strong boundaries because they actually don't respect a woman that is too easy. On the same note, my favorite part in this book is when Steve brings up the cookie. Now, what is the cookie, you may ask? It is the deed. And he says that you need to hold on to the cookie for as long as possible because sleeping with someone too soon will shift the power dynamic and he will feel like he controls you. Like I said, men need to pursue you. So if you engage in physical intimacy too fast, he feels like he's already won you and he will likely lose interest fast. So when it comes to sleeping with someone, don't be afraid to say no, even saying it multiple times in a row. As a woman, the cookie is your greatest power play in the relationship. You control the dynamic with how you dish out intimacy. People respect those who respect themselves, so never lower your standards or give in when you're still unsure. Trust me, you will know when the time is right to be intimate with someone. And there are plenty of other ways to show love for that person that's not the deed. And if the other person gets bored and leaves because they're not getting what they want, then consider the trash already took itself out because you don't want to be with someone who only wants to get in bed with you anyway. Now, I got a hot take that I'm pretty sure is gonna break the internet, but I don't really care because I'm not here to save your feelings, I'm here to tell you the truth. My hot take is that everybody needs to stop saying if he wanted to, he would. Like, that is the biggest lie you can tell yourself. Whenever girls say if he wanted to, he would, they're basically saying that their man doesn't love them because they're not doing X, Y, and Z. Like, do you know how insane that sounds? Guys, every single healthy relationship on this earth does not operate from a place of assumption. You cannot assume your man is a mind reader and that he's going to know exactly what you need at any given moment. But instead, the most important aspect of every healthy relationship is clear communication. You need to communicate all of your wants and needs to your partner so that they know how to love you. I've told this story before, but when my boyfriend and I first met, after one of our first dates, he did not walk me to my Uber. And maybe to you that doesn't matter, but to me it does. And so later on, I told him nicely, hey, I would really like it if you walked me to my car. I would feel a lot safer that way. And immediately he was like, oh, I didn't know. Of course I'll walk you. And to this day, he still does. And so this just goes to show that the saying, if he wanted to, he would, is not how you should be thinking in a relationship. Not every guy has had multiple girlfriends in the past. Not every guy grew up with parents that had a healthy relationship. And not every guy knows what you like. But it doesn't mean he doesn't want to do those things. You just need to make it clear for him. The more you openly communicate with your partner, the happier you'll both be because you're getting your needs met and your partner knows exactly how to meet them. And if you want to learn more on how to improve your communication and become the best version of yourself to attract your dream partner, I have a few more slots in the It Girl Academy and I would love for you to join. Because surrounding yourself with like-minded, motivated women will encourage you to level up all areas of your life and step into your highest potential. I hope you guys got some good tips from this video and I have so many more, so if you want me to do a part 2, let me know in the comments below. And if you are interested in watching some more dating advice, I have a whole video right here where I share even more harsh truths about dating in your 20s. But for now, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.